PKM, Personal Knowledge Management, a knowledge worker's best friend. These systems aren't just for the professors and programmers. I would suggest that everyone should have their own way to manage their knowledge. Tiago Forte says that knowledge that is not shared is useless. Although I agree, I would say that this sharing of knowledge doesn't have to be in the form of content, be it papers, articles, or YouTube videos. It can be in conversation with friends, or in the fact that you might have some piece of information that you can retrieve to help someone. To just have the extra edge and actually remember what you've learned, some sort of external aid, a second brain, if you will, it's crucial. It can make you feel more secure in what you know and how you feel about certain topics. But what I've found is also that when you gather knowledge in a more tangible way, the urge to share, to do something with it, grows. But how do you set up a personal knowledge management system that works, that suits your specific needs? In this video, I'll explain a bit about how I do it now, how I've done it in the past, and what the future might hold. However, I'll also touch on the fact that all these videos, mine included, should only be seen as an inspiration, not a guide. This is why I won't show any specific workflows or tell you that you need specific templates. I won't even show any templates, nothing like that. Because I want this to be an inspiration, not a guide. If you just start, you'll soon learn what you need in your own quest for knowledge. With so many different tools, apps, and methodologies available, it's easy to be overwhelmed when it comes to PKM. My personal mantra is do something. Start somewhere. I started with Obsidian. I try to make my notes as atomic as possible. Atomic means that if I have an idea, I write one note. If that idea grows and sort of spawns a new idea, I make that its own note. And if they are connected, I link them. That's not working out so great for me right now, and that's okay. It just means that how I need to handle my information has changed. Maybe I'll expand my notes more, maybe I'll just find some new flow that works better for me. But all you really need to start some sort of knowledge management is pen and paper. Some people have found great results in just writing things down in notebooks and using an index to mark where different ideas or thoughts are in this specific notebook. Sort of like a bullet journal, but this used to be called a commonplace book. Or you can go hardcore and start a paper-based Zettelkasten. That seems to be all the rage right now, which is very cool. I'll link some videos down below about commonplace books and Zettelkasten, because even though it might not be the methodology for you, it's very cool to look through. At its core though, PKM is the practice of effectively organizing, accessing, and using the vast amounts of information we come across every day. It's about taking control of our knowledge and turning it into something useful. But what that means is up to you, which in turn means that how you set up your system is up to you. I started my system with a clear goal to try and visualize what I know, what I want to know, and what I have no clue about. For this goal, Obsidian was a much better choice than a notebook or a paper-based Zettelkasten, but that's sort of changing right now. I find that I need a bit more friction in my system because I've added a lot of things that I go through later and find that it's not even an idea basically. So it's easy to start hoarding. My old notes are not very useful. Some of them I've expanded and some of them I've deleted. When you start, don't be afraid to hoard basically, but later don't be afraid to remove, to just delete. I know that's a bit heretical of me to say, but it's fine. It's your notes. Just if they serve no purpose, delete them. So we've established that one size does not fit all, and that looking up how others do their personal knowledge management should be an inspiration, rather than a guide. But you cry, I want someone to tell me how to do it. To that I say, people learn in such vastly different ways. I don't know what you need. But I would say that if you want to dip your toe somewhere, I would argue that Obsidian is a great way to start. I have videos on how I use it, and I will link to that. I will also put a link to one of Nicole van der Hoeven's videos on how to get started without a bunch of plugins or queries or any of the more quote-unquote advanced stuff. You don't have to do anything other than create notes. You don't even have to link your notes or add any plugins at the start. Just start writing, either how I and many others do it, with one note per idea, or you can use one note for a specific topic with headings for different ideas within that topic. It's all up to you. What Obsidian offers, I would say, is a little something for everyone. There's Canvas for all you visual thinkers. You can add plugins if you want to write in a more outline, bullet point sort of way, or just open a note and start typing. The most important thing is to not fear failure, because there is no such thing. Don't be afraid to use all the plugins in Obsidian and then scale back because it was too much. Don't be scared to make a solemn promise to never use any plugins and then sort of do. There are a bunch of plugins that are really useful. If you do paper, don't be intimidated by all that empty paper in the book. Just start and then change as you need when you find your own flow. PKM is not just about managing knowledge, it's also mostly, more importantly, about learning and reflecting. If all you want to do is hoard information, just get a read it later app and collect everything. But that's not what PKM is about. It's about not consuming content mindlessly, but learning from it. This means you need to go through your notes from time to time, either by just browsing or by using some sort of spaced repetition. I use the spaced repetition plugin in Obsidian together with the random note plugin. The spaced repetition plugin are for two areas that are widely different. First usage is for notes that I know I need to work on, either expand or rewrite. Second usage is for notes that are done, if a note can ever be done, and that I want to really keep relevant for myself. The random note plugin, more for just seeing what comes up, like a little game to see if I find something I need or something that's fun. All in all, it's important to not only make notes, it's important to go through them. It's amazing to see how much you can grow and learn when you find an old note that you now have a totally different perspective on. Remember that it's the personal in PKM that is what makes it truly transformative. By building a knowledge management system to your own specific needs and your preferences and your goals, you set yourself up for success. Either if you need it in your work life or just because you want to learn. PKM is not a rigid set of rules you have to follow, but something that should grow from you. It should make your day more interesting and your life a little bit easier. Thank you for following along as I do my best to get every person I meet to start their own personal knowledge management system. If you found it helpful or inspiring, please consider subscribing, giving a thumbs up, or even comment with your own thoughts. We can never grow if we never discuss. How are you managing your knowledge right now?